Welcome to the channel, 831 Avo. Check out the tree haul. Gem avocado tree in a 15. Gem on Zutano seedling rootstock. Let me find the label. The label. It's labeled, bro, and it's in there. The only thing that I need to be careful, this tree has fire ants. Me muerden los mochomos. So yeah, they already bit me. I like how it feels. No pain, no gain. So yeah, always take the most painful road, okay? Take the most painful road, the one less traveled, and just fall in love with the pain. Fall in love with the process, okay? If it's easy, I don't want it. If it's easy, I don't want it. So anyways, even if it's not labeled, which I thought it was, it says GMZ. The can says GMZ. Let me take you in real quick. For sure. Let me turn it around. Liberty on the land. Hey, you know the growing pains. But oh, here we go. See? I knew it. Gem. Okay, gem. And then GM, gem. And then Z. So gem on Zutano seedling rootstock. I'm gonna say this is a Southern California 15. More specifically, because I've been to the growing grounds in Fallbrook, California, I'm gonna say Matic Ranch Nursery. These are being pulled through by Don Pablo Jr. I'm sorry, Don Pablo and Pablo Jr. from El Capulín Nursery. 15s, $150 versus the sleeves, $60. Both good options, but for sure, if this takes and it gets a good vegetative growth season this year, we can expect production on it next year. If they come loaded, take it off. I highly recommend that you take it off. Okay, I've been seeing 50-50. Okay, I've been seeing where they're sometimes pulled through and keep going. Again, you should be able to keep seeing new flushes and then the thickening of the fruit. That's going to be the tell that the rootstock is performing well and that it's going to be able to do it. If you stop seeing vegetative growth, take the fruit off. Take the fruit off. But honestly, I don't even want to risk it because sometimes it could just be too far gone. It could be, again, holding fruit will stress them out, and I think that makes them vulnerable to disease. And so I would take it off. That's going to be my recommendation. Yeah, bro. Yeah. They survive in clay soil, so yeah, I would amend and then mound up. And then in the winter, I'm using gypsum. The clay buster gypsum, I use it as a winter flush. So March through October, I'm feeding, again, 8 ounces, half of a red Dixie cup every month, consistently from March to October. I stop in October because I don't want it to push a new red flush heading into winter. For winter, I'll put down some gypsum. If I have clay, I'll put down some gypsum, let the water, you basically use it as a winter flush, because again, they says it helps, it's a source of calcium that helps prevent the root rot, and then also helps with the salinity of the soil, And then I can say that it turns that clay into butter. So yes, they can grow in soil for sure. And then even then, some of these sleeves too, I want to say minerally. Again, you can see that it's minerally. There's rock, sand, but the bottom is open. The bottom is open, and I've been seeing them drop some chunks of clay. So I want to say that there's clay in these heavy. There's clay in these heavy root balls. Again, less. I don't know the exact formula. And I wish I had that little clay chunk right here to show you. So don't be deterred. They could happen in clay for sure. But heavily bust and amend, preferably. No, not preferably. Like, it's something that you should do. Because again, I've amended less, expecting the top dressing of organic fertilizer, mulching to have an effect. And it does, but it's very minimal. And so I would go maybe, I mean, the more the better, but at least 18 inches below grade. Below grade, properly well draining and amended. And then still coming up half a foot. So the 18 plus the 6, 24 inches. 24 inches of properly well draining soil. 1.5 the width of the original container. And for something smaller, I would even go double. So yeah, we're gonna paint these right here. All right, and again, what soil do I recommend? It's getting harder to find. Let me go get it for you. It's gonna be the Pride Lands compost-free premium potting soil. Let me get the bag, and then or the other one is gonna be Gary's Top Pot. But I'm gonna lean more towards the premium with the Pride Lands premium potting soil, only because it's bigger, and I think they go around for the same price, 19-20 bucks. Let me get the bag. Let me get the bag of soil. I'll be right with you, okay? Okay, here it is. Pride Lands premium potting soil. Big ol' lion. Saludos a León. You know I represent the lion. Saludos a León, Guanajuato. Always. And then the detail is right here at the bottom of the bag. You'll see compost free. And this is 1.5 cubic feet versus Gary's Top Pot 1 cubic feet. So this is 50% more. Then whitewash your tree. Again, go natural paint. This originally in the tree trunk white, but I dropped some pigment in it. I dropped some pigment in it. I don't know if you can see, it's khaki beige. Dad's slippers. This was the formula, but it fainted. So yeah, I grabbed this over from the garden center, San Lorenzo Garden Center, and then walked it over to the hardware store, and then just asked them to put some pigment in it, avoiding the white look. This is going to be more of a natural faux look. And again, this protects from both extremes, high and low. In the summer, the thin coat of paint will serve as sunblock, prevent your tree from getting sun scalded. And in the winter, the thin little layer of latex paint will serve as a blanket. Okay. And it's very little water. Very little water. Don't run it straight. If you run it straight, as it grows, it'll crack. It'll crack and fall off. So just give it some stretch. Give the paint some stretch by putting some water. Okay, let me do that. So I'm gonna go like 6 or 7 globs of paint. Three. 4. 5. 6. And 7. I'll go one more. Okay, so we're whitewashing both of these trees. And then how tall is that one? We'll measure it right now. We'll measure it. The 15, again from the top of the root ball. I'm gonna say 50 inches. Let's get in there, hold on. Yeah, there's several, like the central leader kind of splits into a multi-shoot top, which is good, I like that, but yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, 49 inches. 49 inches, so 4 feet. 4 feet, and then most importantly though, it's gonna be the thickness of the trunk versus the grow bag sleeves. A foot. I'm sorry, a yard. That right there, 36. Both of them. This one is slightly bigger, 37. That one, 37. Okay. Now let's go into the we have local gems in 5s that are reaching this height, but we're seeing them a little thinner. They're a little thinner, and then I'll show you. Let's measure the trunks. So this one's shorter, but the trunk is thicker. And I like them thick. This one's taller, but the trunk is thinner. And then this one's about an inch. A little bit shorter, 7/8. So for the sleeves, I would go with this one. They're both good. That's why I selected them. But between these two, I prefer thicker. And then the gem in the 15. But yeah, prepping this to be planted tomorrow, and then delivery on that one tomorrow. Paint the central leader. It's already whitewashed, but there's some new growth tips that are exposed. But yeah, that's what you want to do, especially if they're horizontal. If they're laying, they're gonna get beat by the sun rays. I'm seeing that if they're upward facing, like at a 45-degree angle, they'll deflect. They'll deflect the heat and they won't get sunburned. But something laying completely flat, for sure it'll get sun scalded, sometimes almost even charred. You risk losing the limb. So help it out. If you could shape by propping up by some stakes, that'll be cool. But it just depends how the tree is looking. If it's thin on limbs, I would definitely try to keep every limb alive. But this one's pretty bushy, especially right here in the lower part. But yeah, pretty tedious. And then wherever it's already dense, you could definitely get away with doing less, but I always just try to maximize the coverage, just because again it helps with the cold snaps as well. And again, the foliage will also help defend the tree. But again, the more protected the tree is, the better I feel about it. Again, because if I could avoid suffering a setback, I'm gonna definitely do everything within my measures to control it. Because I want a 15 one good vegetative growth season. We're seeing production the following year. On the sleeves and 5s, I would get 2 good vegetative seasons. Take off the flower, take off your fruit set, and on the 3rd year, allow it to set fruit. But again, I want to say that this tree is somewhere around 3 years old. There's other varieties as well. For sure, the gem is a variety that I've been heavily promoting. And the few that remain are definitely getting shopped. But there's still a few good ones for sure. I'm gonna say like 3 or 4. At planting, also orient stake where it's gonna shade it. It's basically gonna shade it from the high heat. So when you look to orient and position your tree, make sure that if you can hide the trunk behind the stake, that's gonna help it for sure. But then there's several other things to consider. Smaller limbs. I also point smaller limb towards sun exposure so that it balances out, so it chases the sun and evens out. So it just depends. Very busy, intersecting. Rubbing branches almost, but we'll make selections down the road. Again, right now they're green and they're flexible, so they're really not damaging each other. But once they become like hardy and woody, you definitely are gonna have to shape it a little bit, again, to avoid rubbing branches. Now rotate. Benjamin 408, greetings. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Benjamin. Benjamin 408. What are you growing, bro? Let me know. What do you got? What do you need? Yeah, these are a gem. And let me know if you're good for this one. This one's going for, this is going to San Jose, South San Jose. But let me know if you're good for this one. You want that one? I'm going to be in the 408 tomorrow. Aquí andamos, ya sabes. Yeah, but thank you for the support. But check it out. Gems and sleeves, grow bags, 3-gallon grow bags. And then a 15. But yeah, this right here, Santa Cruz Mountains. Off of the 17. Then I'm going to go over the hill, drop this off. Then I'm going to go to Bass Pro Fishing, my beach fishing rod needs a new line, so I'm gonna go buy some line. So tomorrow's gonna be a good day. So yeah, paint it and then rotate 180, full spin. Oh, you're in Tracy. Okay. So yeah, I am going to the 209, bro. I did 209 Newman. And then I have a Tia in Modesto. And all the Stocktonians are tuning in, so definitely need to show love. Shout out to Stockton, Modesto, Roberto Argueta out in Newman. But yeah, I'm going 209 for sure. 831 to the 209. That's a must. That's a must right there for sure. But yeah, stay tuned, bro. Stay tuned. Igual let me know, bro. Let me know. Cuando le plante el aguacate a mi tía, I'll hit you up, bro. Are you growing Carmen, Reed, Gem, Fuerte? Oh, you already have it. With the gem. Ooh, bro. So again, I've said this before. Expected failure rate on Zutano seedling rootstock is 1 in 10%. So, and the way I kind of mitigate that factor is by, when I look at the tree line, I'm looking for the tallest one. Either taller height or thick trunk. I visit the growing grounds. But I know sometimes at the nursery, they pull them in smaller batches. And so selection is smaller. But I like to go to the growing grounds where they're going to have lots of 15, 100 trees. And then again, I look at the tree line and I want the super performers, the ones that are well above the rest. I'll take all the super performers actually. But again, if your other trees are established, your Carmen, your Reed, your Fuerte, and your Queen, I would jump your gem over to your Queen or any of the other underperforming varieties. I had a dieback with our first heat wave. Okay, maybe run some, keep your root ball cool. Maybe mulch it. And then also if you're watering heavily to try to keep it cool, then run some liquid comp, some general fungicide. Because I understand the need to water it to keep it cool, prevent it from crashing. But again, over watering, sometimes they don't like to sit wet. And so I'll always run a general fungicide. The Queen is thriving. Okay, yeah, I would jump a piece of budwood. I know it's going to be hard, right, to harvest, especially if harvest a piece of scion budwood, especially if it's harvesting. But I would just use it as my safety net. If my standalone gem tree fails, I know that it's grafted onto my queen, and I have a multi-graft. I know trees can be harder to come by up there too, so it's harder, you know? But I chase them down, bro. I chase down trees. Again, these are being pulled through to Watsonville, but I know where these are from. These are from Maddock Ranch Nursery in Fallbrook, California. And I know they say the game is to be sold, not told, but I'm transparent, bro. I'm transparent just because there's a lot of looky-loos or just people shopping, and I just kind of need them to understand and wrap their head around the price of things, because everybody wants that $20 landscaper, you know. But I'm telling you that that's not me. That $20 landscaper, he's not gonna know what he's doing. Not always, not always. Mis respetos, bro, para los maestros, you know. There is people, but in general, like, I've already developed enough expertise where I know I could set myself aside. Like, I know how to multi-graft. My early tree plantings are now setting fruit. I know how to troubleshoot. They speak to me. They speak to me for sure. Okay, and yeah, so it depends either on your. You also don't want. They say you want to spray your dark foliage, almost like your last year's leaves, if it has any. They say the intake on a new flush, is gonna be less, and or sometimes can even. I wouldn't say damage them, but I would just say that the intake of it is less. So spray your deep green leaves, and then maybe even a little root drench. You don't find it's not formulated for a root drench, but if you look on avocado forum somewhere, there's people who basically still do it. And I want to say it's formulated a little heavier, but again, do your own research. I would need to like refresh my mind in a root drench. But start off with the foliar. Start off with the foliar just because it's systemic. Once it's running through your tree's veins, it's gonna target anything potentially. It's gonna fight off anything potentially targeting your roots. Everything's going up, bro. And they say it's only the beginning. They say it's only the beginning. I don't know, bro. Everything's all gloom and doom on the internet, bro. That's why I just focus on creating more content than I watch. I don't even try to watch anymore. Like a racehorse, I put my blinders on and then just power forward, power through. Like, I don't care what anyone else is doing. But yeah, everything's all gloom and doom. AI, like, bro, World War III. And so, but then you step outside and you look at your trees, you look at your neighbor, and everything's cool, bro. I mean, depending on where you are too, you know. I know there's some hoods that are getting pretty bad, bro, but I'm in Santa Cruz, California, bro. Right here, we live like in a little bubble. You know, like, I would say that Santa Cruz, California is like far from reality. It's like it's its own little thing, bro. Like, the struggle is not that real here. We're living the good life over here, bro. Okay, yeah, you should be able to save it, bro. And then also maybe give it less sun exposure. If you know you're seeing some heat, put it in the side walkway of your house between the front yard and your backyard, your side walkway, where expose it only to the early morning sun. Because there's going to be one half exposed to the early morning sun, and the other side of your house is going to be exposed to the late evening hotter sun. So only expose it to the cooler morning sun. And again, I've seen some trees like in shade. In shade, in theory, they said sometimes in shade, it'll make them chase the light. So you'll actually get some more vegetative growth than them being exposed to full sun, getting constantly beat. And then after you get a good couple flushes, then you can jump it over. If it looks like it can take it, then you jump it over to the other side of the house, where then it can now again harvest and photosynthesize more, because it has more leaves, and therefore it could tolerate the sun. Yeah, bro, everyone's chill right here, bro. For sure. Yeah, we definitely don't see the violence that some of the other bigger cities see, for sure. Right here, we're chill, bro. No one's crashing out over here, bro. Everything's chill. Life's too good, bro. And you only have one. No bad days out here, bro. I'm going fishing. I'm paying the price, bro, so then I live the lifestyle. I take my kids boogie boarding. I bought a beach net. I go fishing. They're making me pay for it, bro, then I'm gonna enjoy the lifestyle. Surfing. Yeah. I'm living it up, bro. I'm living it up, thing. But yeah, in general, bro, 831, bro, I always thought that they were sleeping on us, bro. I've been, no disrespect, bro. No disrespect to the bigger cities, but I can't say that. Like, I'm exactly where I want to be. Again, I'm heading over there for business, but living there or even raising a family, I don't know, bro. It's just like, people don't really know each other right here. Everyone knows each other, bro. We already know where we're at. We already know where we stand at. There's no funk. There's no beef. It's all like a community, bro. Community. Versus a bigger city, you don't even know who you're running into, bro. Everyone's all stressed. So, but yeah, we're gonna turn it around, bro. We're gonna turn it around for sure. One garden at a time. This one seems pretty good already. But yeah, no fruits on this one. Nor would I force a 15 to hold again. Just focus on establishing it vegetatively. And don't try to rush it. Good night, brother. Keep up the good work. Cuídate. Aquí andamos, bro. Aquí andamos. Yeah, I'm gonna call the stream too, because people are falling asleep around me, bro. But I just wanted to show you YouTube how you said everything's going up. Again, sleeves now $60. So, but yeah, when I started, it's like $35, bro. $35. And I want to say that was like 4 years ago. So yeah, every year they've been going up $5 or $10 consistently. But yeah, when's the best time to plant an avocado tree? Last year, today, right now, tomorrow. Because I guarantee you tomorrow or next year, they're going to be more expensive. I missed it. For sure, bro. I mean, I don't want to, I mean, yeah, bro. I'm going to say that those days are gone, bro. Échale ganas, I missed the $25 from Hernandez Nursery. And I need to go check them out. I need to go check them out. But yeah, um, there's going to be a few little mini growing ground pockets, little mom and pop nurseries that they get down, bro. They do their thing. They try to plug these varieties as low as possible, but again, they have to factor in their cost, and for sure everything's going up. So I understand and respect the growth and how long it takes, so I don't lowball them, bro. Whatever they say, I just pay within reason, bro. Within reason, knowing that again, I'm getting growing ground wholesale pricing. I avoid retail nurseries at all costs, but sometimes they have nice trees, and that's the only thing that's available, so I'll have to buy at retail. But then I'm just turning around and invoicing the client. But trees for me personally, wholesale and growing ground prices only. But yeah, I thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm wrapping it up. I didn't even get started on these other ones, but want to decompress a little bit, chill, hang out with my people. Hey, Robert Solo, what's your top 3 favorite avocado varieties? Okay, I'm a gem baby. Okay, having worked in the packaging plant with Will Brokaw. Let me show you a fruit. Stay tuned. All right, hopefully you're still around. Robert Solo. This is a gem from Ventura County, Santa Paula, Brokaw Ranch, versus a local one. This is organically grown in Corralitos, California via Bobcat Ridge Avocados. Organic, local, and then look at these monsters, bro. These ones, again, it is a heat-related thing, bro. It is a heat-related thing because then I'm taking the gems up to the mountains, and I'm seeing these. I'm seeing 1 pound avocado trees. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 pound avocado fruit for sure. And then the ones kind of grown in the valleys or the rolling hills leading up to the mountains, they're going to be a little bit smaller. But again, this cool coastal climate. And then again, this right here, Santa Paula, Southern California, a little bit more heat. And then again, when I'm taking these up to the Santa Cruz Mountains, we're seeing big fruit as well. For sure. As reference, what can I show as reference? Oh, here we go. No, reference size. So like, look. And this is monsters. There's going to be 2 more this is jumbo or huge? Jumbo? No, huge. There's going to be monster and colossal, but you can easily see some, like, I've seen some 5 or some 5.5 size gems. This one's like barely 5. I want to say I've seen some that are 6. I've seen your videos eating food with your gems. Hey, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the support. But yeah, I'm trying to get as many seeds as possible for the gem. Again, I'm breeding obsessed. I'm breeding obsessed, bro, desde chiquito. Since I was little. Again, my dad, roosters, my mom, succulents, my maternal grandpa, dogs, my paternal grandpa, he was a cattleman, era ganadero. So I've always seen breeding projects. I didn't want to go animals, bro. I didn't want to go animals. So I went with plants. I breed plants. I breed avocados. But again, I'm taking my developing grounds. I'm taking seeds off of the gems. And then again, I'm pairing gems with Carmen because I'm hoping for a gem that flowers twice a year. Okay, I'm breeding towards a gem that flowers twice a year. So expect that in 20 to 30 years. All right. And then, but yeah, top 3, personally, gem. And then Carmen. Carmen is going to be quantity, but the fruit is going to be smaller. But again, they say if it's for an individual salad, sometimes smaller fruit comes in pretty clutch, bro. Like if you just take a smaller avocado tree for lunch, that's enough. But this one's gonna be more for the family, really. You're gonna need help. I mean, I could chow this down, bro, but I'm just saying, this can feed a few. So yeah, again, California's leading variety for me is the gem. Pairing it next to Mexico's leading variety, which again is El Méndez. Carmen has Méndez Loca o Mejorado, number 2. And then I'm gonna go Gwen. Gwen for me is top 3 because everything is coming off of a Gwen. The gem came off of Gwen, the lamb came off of Gwen, and the newly released BL516 Luna all came off of Gwen. The UC Riverside development, the development grounds, I think they took all the seeds off of the Gwen and counted for 30 to 40 years, painstakingly counted fruit set and weighed final produce. And that's how they decided the direction that we're heading in. So again, I'm kind of recreating that same breeding project. So I'm going with Gwen. I breed gem back to its mom. Inline breeding. Inline breeding, intensifying the precociousness, the compactness. Okay, I'm breeding for compactness and then beautiful trees. The husk, it's the little browning edge leaf burn. But gems and Gwens and lambs are going to be beautiful trees. Again, this one compact, and I'm going to say the other one's semi-dwarf. More ideal for us home growers, because I don't want my clients to later down the line have to incur tree trimming costs. Okay, everything's going up, so imagine having to prune your tree every year or every other year. So again, that's why I always promote heavily for us home growers, gem. And then again, it's going to be a beautiful tree. The leaves are going to stay deep green, taco shelled like that. Taco shelled. And that's the tell when your tree's properly hydrated. That's another tip right there. They're going to be folded up. When it starts to splay and then droops down, that's about to crash. You better water it, or at least mist it. Yeah, try a Gwen, bro. So the Gwen, and then so people will go lamb over Gwen. They close out our California season. So here we close out our seasons with the lamb. Gwen went less commercial because it's kind of disease prone a little bit. But again, I want it because of it's a known producer. Good genetics has come off of Gwen, but taste wise, I'll take a Gwen over a lamb. Again, the lamb, they'll let it hang over a little bit longer. Lamb is good too. I would just let it hang over a little bit longer. But the Gwen, something about the Gwen fruit. Those are my top 3. But again, I'm a Hass head. I stay along the Haas lines for sure. All these Haas like on a blind test, I mean, you can, bro, you can tell them apart, but you definitely need to be like a connoisseur. On a blind test, I don't think most people are telling them apart. The Dongyogli, yeah, I did try the Dongyogli, and it has a weird in the seed. It has a seed, and then it has like a little strip, a little like a bone. It's kind of weird, like cartilage, like flex. It's hard to explain it, but in the big long necks, there's it's hard to explain it. It's like part of the seed, but yeah, it's like a little bone, and yeah. So I just it throws me off sometimes. Again, I to me, I promote beautiful fruit. Like I'm enjoying it with my eyes before I even taste it. But yeah, the Dongyogli is like a little funky, and it throws me off. You know, maybe if you were to serve it to me without even telling me, I'll probably enjoy it more. But I also just think about its commercial power. I know that we shouldn't just select for commercial. If you're a backyard like grower, it's good to be niche, especially genetically diverse, not monoculture. But I'm always thinking about beautiful fruit. Yeah. All right. Hey, well, Robert Solo, thank you for the conversation. But my phone's gonna die soon. I'm at 4%, 3% now. Yeah, us backyard growers, Jem, Gwen, Carmen Haas, Lamb, and then the outcross. My outcross would be a Reed. If you want something on the lines of a Haas, go Guatemalan big old cannonballs too. And then again, self-fruitful type A, green ripening, the Reed. The Reed. That's my outcross. And then, or also my Hawaiian outcross is going to be the green gold. But again, that's a wimpy tree. They say it's a wimpy tree. I haven't worked with it too much. I have two. I've seen two of them. I'm growing two of them, but it's a little bit of a wimpy tree, but fruit is premium, but alternate bearing. It is alternate bearing. Okay, I'd like to chop it up with you on another day. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. More of these coming. Just because I'm going to do some in the day and then some in the night, because some people are only able to tune in later at night. So trying to get to all my viewers. Thank you everyone. Peace. Appreciate the like and the conversation. Everyone have a good night. I'm out.